Good morning, students. Today topic is respiratory organs in animals and human respiratory system. The last class we learned about the here what is the definition of breathing or respiration and types of respiration regarding to absence and presence of oxygen. So they are anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration respectively. Anaerobic respiration, it is the advantage to microbial organisms or microbes or lower animals, whereas the aerobic respiration is a more advantageous to your well developed animals such as from your sponges to uh, mammals here. So that is specialization of the aerobic respiration. Now let us coming to the respiratory organs in animals. Okay, the different type of respiratory organs in the animals, based on their habitat and based on their levels of organization, they show different type of respiratory organs. In the case of lower animals such as you know sponges. In the case of lower animals, sponges, coelenterids, next one, and flatworms. Flatworms are belongs to Platyhelminthes phylum. So these three group animals here, they did not show special respiratory organs here, but their respiration by through body wall, simple diffusion through the body wall, respiration by simple diffusion. Now coming to here earthworms. In the case of earthworms here, in the case of earthworms, here earthworms are belongs to Annelida phylum. Their skin is always moisture in state, so due to presence of mucus glands in the skin. Now the mucus glands in the skin secrete mucus substance. This mucus substance here kept the moisture nature of skin, and the skin become to moisture. The moisture skin able to here respiration by simple diffusion. Also simple diffusion. Earthworms here through the body wall. In earthworms through the moisture skin, respiration is occur. Through the moisture skin, the respiration is occur in the earthworms. The case of insects, suppose have we seen in the case of earthworm there, respiration by specialized a network of tubules called tracheal system. A network of tubules are called tracheal system. The tracheal system which is found in the insects here. Now coming to the different animals have different respiratory organs here. In the case of aquatic arthropods such as prawn, the case of prawn and crab, so their respiration by gills. The case of limulus, limulus belongs to arthropoda phylum. This also belongs to arthropoda phylum. It is living fossil. It is respiration by book gills. Now coming to the case of scorpion. Respiration by book lungs. Now coming to here aquatic molluscans. In the case of snail, and next one unio, aquatic molluscans. Respiration by your softy skin is called softy skin is called mantle. Along with the mantle, also respiration by the ctenidia. The gills of molluscans are called ctenidia. Gills of molluscans are called ctenidia. Now coming to in the case of terrestrial molluscans. Terrestrial means so those that lives in the land. So lives on land they are called terrestrial. ఏవైతే భూమి మీద నివసిస్తే మొలస్కాలు భూమి మీద నివసించే మొలస్కాలు తీసుకున్నట్లయితే రెస్పిరేటరీ ఆర్గాన్స్ ఏమిటంటే పల్మనరీ సాక్స్, డెర్మల్ బ్రాంకియే, pulmonary sacs, dermal bronchiae, etc. Now coming to echinoderms. In the case of echinoderms, here tubifids and respiratory trees, etc. Respiratory trees are the respiratory organs in the echinoderms. In the case of here fishes and larvae of amphibians, the case of fishes and larvae of amphibians means larvae of frog. Fishes and larvae of amphibians respiration by gills. Now coming to the case of adult frog. In the case of adult frog, respiration by skin respiration, that is cutaneous respiration, buccopharyngeal respiration, lungs. The case of reptiles, birds and mammals. The case of reptiles, birds and mammals. So mostly these are the higher level of vertebrates. They are lives in the terrestrial habitats. So their respiration by here lungs. So these are the different type of respiratory organs in the different animals based on the level of organization and based on the habitat here. They have different type of respiratory organs in the animals here. Now coming to the case of fishes and those their respiration by the gills here. Such as fishes and aquatic arthropods here. Now the vascularized bags are present, vascularized lamellae or vascularized plates which are present inside the body of the fishes and aquatic arthropods. They are called gills. Through the gills here, the process of respiration by countercurrent process. Countercurrent process means here one flow always flows into opposite direction of other flow. One flow is always flow into opposite direction of other flow. The process of flowing is called countercurrent. Through the gills, here exchange of gases by the countercurrent mechanism or countercurrent process here. Now coming to the birds have developed a technique of continuous. Birds have developed a technique of continuous exchange of gases. Birds have developed a continuous technique of developed a technique of continuous exchange of gases. Continuous exchange of gases. Students, I think you already learned in the first year geology topic about the general characters of the birds. You know, the birds, they have air sacs, especially the flying birds, along with the lungs here, air sacs are present. So due to presence of air sacs here, the continuous exchange of gases are occurs in the birds. Even though during expiration also O2 is diffused into all body cells from the air sacs. When the during expiration O2 diffused into all body cells away from the air sacs. So therefore double respiration is occur in the birds. Now coming to here, our topic is human respiratory system. Our topic is human respiratory system. Human respiratory system consisting of human respiratory system, human respiratory system, respiratory system, respiratory system consisting following parts. It consists following parts. They are nose, consisting following parts: nose, pharynx, throat, nose, pharynx, and throat, larynx, nothing but voice box. Larynx, nothing but voice box. Larynx, trachea, bronchi, trachea, bronchi, and lungs. Lungs. Structurally, the respiratory system consisting structurally respiratory system consisting two parts. Respiratory system consist two parts. So they are upper respiratory tract and lower respiratory tract. So they are upper respiratory tract, upper respiratory tract, upper respiratory tract, and lower respiratory tract, and lower respiratory tract, lower respiratory tract. Respiratory tract, upper respiratory tract, it includes nose. Upper respiratory tract, it includes nose, pharynx, and larynx, whereas the lower respiratory tract, it includes trachea, it includes trachea, bronchi, and lungs. Now coming to functionally, respiratory system consisting of two parts: conducting zone and respiratory zone. Structurally two parts, and also functionally two parts in the respiratory system. Functionally also consisting two parts. They are the first one conducting zone, and second one respiratory zone. Functionally also consist two parts. Structurally, functionally also two parts. Here structurally also consists two parts: upper respiratory tract and lower respiratory tract. It includes nose, pharynx, larynx. whereas it includes trachea, bronchi and lungs. Coming to functionally also two parts. So they are conducting zone and respiratory zone. Conducting zone means it conduct or transmit the gases. It conduct or transmit the gases to alveoli from the environment, and again from the alveoli to environment gases are transported. That part is called conducting zone or transporting zone. The first part of the functional part, what is the first one? Yeah, conducting zone of respiratory system. Conducting zone. Conducting zone. కండక్టింగ్ జోన్ మీన్స్ ఇట్ కండక్ట్ మీన్స్ ట్రాన్స్మిట్, రవాణా చేస్తుంది, వాయువులను రవాణా చేస్తుంది అనమాట. వాతావరణం నుంచి లంగ్స్లో ఉన్న ఆల్వియోల్స్కి, అదే రకంగా లంగ్స్లో ఉన్న ఆల్వియోల్స్ నుంచి వాతావరణం లోపలికి వాయువులను రవాణా చేసేటువంటి మార్గాన్ని కండక్టింగ్ జోన్ అంటారు. దీన్నే రవాణా మార్గం అంటారు. నెక్స్ట్ అనదర్ వన్ ఇస్ రెస్పిరేటరీ జోన్. రెస్పిరేటరీ జోన్. రెస్పిరేటరీ జోన్. Respiratory zone. So what are the parts which are includes under the conducting zone? So they are first part, ear, nose, followed by the pharynx, larynx, followed by the trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, bronchioles, trachea. Next part, terminal bronchioles, terminal bronchioles. So these are the comes under conducting zone, which conduct the air from the environment to the lungs. That is terminal bronchiole. Again from the terminal bronchiole to environment, these are conducting or transmitting the O2 and CO2 gas. Whereas the respiratory zone here consisting of respiratory bronchioles. Respiratory zone, it includes respiratory bronchioles, alveolar ducts, respiratory bronchioles, followed by the alveolar ducts, alveolar sacs, alveoli. Alveolar sacs and alveoli. So these are the comes under the exchange part or respiratory part of the respiratory system. Okay, now coming to the branch of medicine that deals with the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the ears, nose and throat called ENT. ENT specialist is generally we hearing about the ENT. Ear, nose, throat. Here if any disorders which related to ear, nose, throat, here we approach this specialist, that is called ENT. Now coming to the remaining part here, coming class I will tell about what is that human respiratory system, that is functional parts and structural part, 2 hours.